Hey, love, welcome back to another episode of Rollerset to Mindset with Angela B. Fuller, master hairstylist turned certified life coach. On this platform, I fill you up with transformative conversations from women both in and out of the beauty industry. And these conversations are designed to help you grow not only as a beauty industry professional, but first and foremost as an individual as well. So let's dive into the show. But before we dive in, I've got a pop question for you. And my pop question for you is, are you on track to becoming a successful beauty industry professional? Now, before we can even begin to talk about this subject, let's understand that success for each of us is all on an individual basis. You can't measure your success by what someone else is doing, or by someone else you are following on social media, or by another beauty industry professional, whether that's a hairstylist, whether that's a colorist, or an esthetician, or a makeup artist. Listen, we all have our own idea of what success looks like. And the important thing is for you to fully understand what success looks like for you, and how you can go about making that thing happen. Now, I think that the first thing that we need to identify is what success looks like to you. Because I know, especially for my beginners, when you first came into this industry, certainly you had some idea as to why you wanted to come to be a beauty industry professional. What were your hopes and goals and dreams in terms of your professionalism, in terms of your financial success, in terms of your internal personal development success? Because it's such a personalized, individualistic thing, what I'm giving you is just a general idea of some things that you might want to consider, and some things that I considered when I first got started in this industry over 3 decades ago. But what I want you to understand is this is such a huge industry. I mean, when I think about, I was just online, just looking up some information on this industry and the growth of it and where it's headed and the vastness of it. There are over 4,000 cosmetic and beauty uh, products that are being manufacturers of products. Over 4,000 manufacturers of beauty, of cosmetics and beauty products. That is huge. So you might want to ask yourself, where do I fit into that? Because not all beauty industry professionals necessarily have um, to service clients. There are other areas of this industry that you could be very successful on the manufacture end, on the sales end, on the production end. Um, you can also be a rep. There's so many areas that you can tap into because of the vastness of this industry. But also, listen to this. In the US alone, the beauty industry is over $88 billion. $88 billion as of 2023. So my question to you is, what share of those billions you would like to be a part of? And believe me, it's up to you. Because once you make your mind up to do a thing, that's all you need. It's the mindset. It's the, first of all, identifying how you want to show up in this industry, identifying the contributions you want to make, and identify the avenue that you are going to use to make that happen. Now, you have to also ask yourself, I know as I have over the years, What's the income I want to achieve? What level of income? You know, you can do 5 figures if you're an individual, or let's just, if you're a beginner, let's talk about 4 figures a month. You know, 4 figures run from what? Anywhere from $1,000 to $9,000 a month. Then you can move into your 5 figure months. You can move into your 6 figure year, multiple six figure year, anywhere from $100,000 a year to $999,000 a year. Just think about that. And let's not forget 7 figures. The sky is the limit for you. And your sky is only as low as you decide that it's going to be. So my first suggestion to you is, first identify what success looks like to you, and then stay on top of exactly what this industry has to offer. And then you decide what part, what percentage of that pie is going to belong to you. Now, another thing, you have to be realistic in deciding what success you want to achieve in this industry. So look at how long you've been in the industry. Are you a beginner? Are you in your first 1 to 3 or maybe 7 years? Or are you a mid-range beauty industry professional? Anywhere from 7 to 10 years, up to 15 years maybe, depending on how fast you move. Or are you a veteran? Anyone that has been in this business 15 plus years. And based upon that, and the decision that you made for yourself when you first got started is according to how fast you wanted to move, who you wanted to service, and how you were going to get there. You know, creating a game plan of how you were going to get there. All of that determines your success level in this industry. For a long time, I thought I was doing something in this industry until I started to get connected and to check out what other people were doing in this industry. When I started getting in rooms of individuals that were scaling their business, I began to revise my whole plan. I I came to realize that, girl, you ain't doing nothing. There's so much more to do. It being in the room with individuals that were scaling their business, that were of a higher order of thinking, a higher belief in themselves, I began to ask myself, am I creating momentum in my business? And to be honest with you, that answer was absolutely not. So if you, like myself, early on in my career, if you are not experiencing momentum in your business, you don't have to, don't freak out. You don't have to become, you don't have to operate in despair, because momentum can be achieved if you know what to do, if you've done your research, if you made a decision that things are going to get better for me, things are going to move faster for me, I'm going to produce more than you can. So if you are not experiencing momentum in your business, then you've got to change that. So ask yourself, am I stalled? And what I mean by being stalled is your foot on the brakes? Are you just sitting on ideas? Are you just sitting on talent? Are you just sitting on your technique? And if you are, then you've got to, you can do it slow or you can do it fast. That's up to you. But you've got to lift your foot off the brakes. So many times we are afraid to move. We are afraid to show what we know. We are afraid to demonstrate our gifts and our talents, because some of us were never told that we can do it, that we can create, that we can have, be, and do anything that we want. Well, I am here to tell you that you can. And it all begins with a decision. Or are you one of those individuals who feel like, okay, I've reached a certain level of success in my business, so I'm just going to cruise? But let me tell you something. Even when you are cruising, you have to be aware of your surroundings. You've got to look around and see how this industry is moving. You've got to look around and see how other people are doing. And sometimes you need to adjust that cruise control setting, because some of us are at a speed of cruise control. We set that speed for a certain to go a certain to we set our cruise control over on a certain speed, but then we end up in a lane where what you've set it to be is just moving a bit too slow. So you've either got to get out the way, or you've got to adjust your cruise control. If you say you want to be known in this industry as the go-to person, then there's no way on God's green earth that that can be achieved on cruise control, because you cannot measure your cruise control just by how the speed that you are going. You've got to look around you, and you've got to measure your speed by the person in the right or the person in the left. You've also got to measure your speed by the car that's ahead of you or the car that is behind you. And if it's not in alignment with the total speed of the industry, then you've got some work to do. And I suggest you do it. Adjust your speed. Ask yourself, am I on target to reach this goal? And if not, then you know there what is work for you to do. Or are you one of those heavy footers? You know, the kind that have you got your foot on the brakes. I'm sorry, you have your foot on the gas. You're having the right conversations. You're having the conversations with the right people. You're attending events. You are increasing your profit margin by 10%. You are putting your brand out there. You are course correcting. You are adjusting. You are educating yourself. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes, listen, when you are trying to achieve momentum, you have got to put your foot on the gas, and you've got to drive like you are on an open highway. Sometimes you can't look in your rearview mirror. Sometimes you just got to look forward through that windshield and keep it moving. And you will know when it's time to check and course correct. Once you decide that you want momentum, that is what you're going for, that you're looking for success in your business, sometimes you have to get additional training. Sometimes you have to reevaluate your numbers and decide, okay, it's time for a price increase. Sometimes you have to say, am I in the right market? Do I have the right clientele? And if those answers are no, then guess what? You know what you have to do. And so this is when you begin to ask yourself, what are my plans for growth? When you're ready to scale, do you need to bring additional person on? Do you need an assistant? Do you need additional services? Add additional service to your menu, to your business menu. Maybe courses, maybe training for yourself, but also training for individuals who are trying to scale their business. Maybe you ought to consider some type of certification. Maybe even you may want to consider creating additional locations for the services that you offer. And then you have to ask yourself, am I creating impact? Not just impact, but impact in the market that I want to create the impact. And on what level am I creating the impact? The key is you've got to begin to bring awareness to your brand. That means you've got to put yourself out there confidently. And even if you have some um, self confident issues, you've got to do it scared. You've got to, I even want to venture to say, you may have to do it messy. And then you learn through putting it out there what's going to help you to grow. Because none of us ever get it right the first time, but it's the mere fact that you are trying that makes the difference. And consider bringing your audience, bringing your clientele along. Let them see the direction not only that you are going, but the direction that you are taking them. And you'd be surprised who would jump on board to help support you. And finally, it's about your mindset shift. Keep your mindset shift in the forefront. In other words, create a morning routine that's going to help you set the stage for your day. Commit to reading some good type of literature that's going to help move you forward. Commit to reading at least 10 pages a day of a good book, a book that's going to help you in the area of personal development, a book that's going to help you in the area of moving your business forward. And let's also consider getting a mentor or a coach, someone who has walked in the shoes that you want to walk into. And be willing to invest in yourself. That's where it's at. In the mentorship and in the coaching, you'd be surprised how you can 10x your business by getting a mentor or a coach. And always, always set the intention. Be intentional with your goals. And don't let anyone sway you from moving forward with your goals. And before going to bed at night, set that intention for the next day. That's how it's done. And then what you want to do is rinse and repeat. Because regardless of where you are on your journey, you want to constantly tell yourself, I am just getting started. You got that? Just getting started. Okay? Try the suggestions I just gave you and let me know. Tag me at Rollerset to Mindset or tag me at Angela B. Fuller and let me know how my suggestions have helped you. Okay? I'll talk to you soon. Okay? Bye. Mwah.